Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 8:40 on Sunday night. Instead of going out for pints, I decided I'd do a video. A lot of people will be off work tomorrow, including myself, so I might go out for a while later, but I'm not too pushed. A bit tired tonight. Was in Sligo, got there about 1:45. Met a nice man on the way in from Strabane, and he handed me a free ticket. Didn't know me from Adam, and I just asked him his name. His name was Jerry, and I said I had a tipping channel on YouTube. He's one of those characters. I don't think he ever heard of YouTube. He just wanted to get in, get a couple of pints and a couple of bets, I think. But thank you very much. Shout out as well to the bookie Tyrone McCartan. I've met him a good few times. Absolute gentleman. I love taking money off the bookies, but the bookies on the track are a different breed. They're all very well liked, very popular. It's the bookies, the shops that just kill me. I have vengeance for them the whole time because they're not a real bookmaker at all. They're just out to rip off the customer, whereas the bookie are just out to make a living, But he's from Antrim, nice northern accent, but his mother was from Roscommon. I think he told me before that his grandfather may have drove an ambulance at some point, but the mother was a Rossi, so she was swept off her feet, and they must have ended up in Antrim somewhere. So I was chatting to him again today a couple of times. Also, Dean Buckey, I used to have porter a long time ago with his late dad when he had a pub in Elphin. It was Flynn's pub. Great pint of porter in it. I don't think anyone, when I had my pints in my late teens, I don't think there was anyone under 60 in the place, apart from me, because I was bringing old books home. I had a car and they hadn't. Just be good crack. Good chat with Pádraig and Richie. I met Pádraig before several times. He works there in Sligo in the college. John P. Gallagher from up Dunglow area. And his first cousin Michael Gallagher and the son Michael, we call him Michael Jr. He's living in Leitrim village. I asked him, had the Mary with them or how was Mary? That'd be Mary from Dunglow. Said she was in fine fettle, but she didn't go racing today. Young Buck recognised me and he told me, Emmett was his name, he told me the suit he had on was €320 it cost him today. They're all very well dressed. Today was Peaky Blinders Day at in Sligo. You should have seen the cut of them. I'll tell you, go around with the little caps. There's a bar in Listowel Christie's. I've seen a heap of them dressed the same way in Limerick this year. They wouldn't have been out of place at all today. Damien Murray from the foot of the Curragh Mountains, he was telling me that a few that I knew and met recently had a horse running today. I was laughing when I seen the name of the syndicate, Stays All Day. I wonder would it be called after one of them that might have spent too long in the pub maybe, or if it wasn't Stays All Day, it should be Stayed Out All Night. It'd be another suitable name for the gentleman I'm talking about. They'd know. Who else? There was a few more. I meant to John Gallagher. I looked for you after there. You wanted to get a number off me, but I had to go. Oh yes, the young lads from Buncrana. They actually had a Belfast bookie had given out €5 tickets to some of them today. So they actually, to the €5 put on a matching bet. So they gave me a couple of them. They were heading off. One of them actually, I think, worked for the bookie. Before I go on, and a few newcomers on the bus. Merck Sitan, Paul O'Connor, Jack, sincere condolences as well. Liam Hines, a regular contributor on the channel, he lost his mother suddenly during the week. And Chris Donnelly left a comment that his sister passed away. So that gives us all a reality check, and condolences to both of them and to their families. There was also a new passenger on the bus, David Mahan. I said that I mentioned him last week. I met him. He was the first man I met in first day I was in Punchestown. He was along with the judge, owner of Popova. So didn't like to say to him at the time that we were going to win that race. She could be anything. But I must look back at the video again because I didn't have time during the week. I'll be going back on a lot of them videos one of the nights during the week when I don't seem to get much time anymore to go back on the videos. Only something that should catch my eye. So he's a horse running tomorrow. The best of luck with that. And he did say as well that if he fancied anything or if you had any information, pop it on the channel. Fair play to you. Bump into you again sometime. In Sligo today, the favourites won the first race. Got the rail from Trap 1 and tore off, giving a good ride by Mark Enright. The favourites as well won the second. I was talking to the two Sligo books at the time. I didn't even see this going out to evens because I was saying there's no point going round this. That's long odds on. Because I had looked at the exchanges earlier and it had been like 1 to 2. One snug enough. I backed Conversant at 12 to 1. The reason being he was a reserve. I always do that if in the west of Ireland, if they come long distances, there is a reason for it. I had watched him a couple of times. I think I backed him before in the Curragh. So that was, now I had 20 each way in it. But I was delighted. It put me in clover for the day then. There was a couple of horses to take out of this. We'll come to them again at some point. There was a couple that sort of caught my eye, but I'll have to look at the video of it again. Then we had our first horse of the day was running Grappanonina. A bit uneasy in the betting ring. All the money was for Calmyra, but I was past the round by the stand the first time. I was fierce happy the way we were going. The other one had the runner with the choke out, and it sort of freewheeled down the hill into the dip. And when it took the lead on the turn for home, it's a long way down to view it, but I was happy enough. But couldn't have expected a horse that hadn't ran for well over 2 years to come and beat it well. The only comparison between the two of them, both of them were bred by Moiglair Stud. And this horse hadn't ran for, what was it, 29th of January 2021. In a maiden hurl behind, hadn't run in the flat since Galway 2020. Like, that's 2.5 years. But well, it had to come and nut us today. That was very popular with all the Peaky Blinders, or whatever you call them. Say it's Peaky Blinders. They were cheering and roaring this horse on. It was favourite. And then in the last race, I was saying the other horse learned a lot from his run the last day because it picked up well on the turn. Actually, at the track, Norturno was 9 to 2, so I backed it each way. It was also 7 to 4 at the track without the favourite, and it was 9 to 4 on with the green bouquet. So I done them, and I done the reverse forecast. The reverse forecast paid 6.80. So always watch if it goes out to a backable each way price, even at 9 to 2. Well, it's a 9 to 2 at the course, and that's a quarter of the odds, you see. Oh no, it's a fifth because it was 8. But with the other horse, Conversant, there's a quarter of the odds today. But the reverse forecast, just standing out between the two of them, sort of, and without the forecast was a grand prize. Anyway, I'm rattling on a lot today, haven't I? Tomorrow, the first race that I have a selection in is 3:35 at the Curragh. Horse we backed the last day, Queen Amitatu. Haggis has a great record when he sends them over. This was in Newcastle the last day. And it was up against Manifit, who was rated 103 with experience on the flat. But she done it well.
Furlongs now, Smiling Sunflower, Fiduciary. They've gone pretty hard from the front. River Pride, Manarfith is moving up quite stylishly. They're followed by Queen Amitatu improving with on the near side Hod's Girl and Aramis Grey, and they bunch up, and it's Smiling Sunflower only barely holding on from Fiduciary. Manarfith coming there smoothly far side, followed through by Queen Amitatu, who's being stoked along, and then Aramis Grey on the far side. Manarfith, Aramis Grey, Queen Amitatu, Hod's Girl burning down the near side, almost forward and line. Queen Amitatu picking up impressively. Wow, she found something there and wins well.
I thought they might send her over up to a mile, but they're coming to a Group 3 race tomorrow. Soft ground in the Curragh, yielding in places. It shouldn't be a problem to her because last she won in France, but that was on the Goo. But in Ascot in October, behind Soft Whisper, who's a decent animal, and this was good to soft in places that day. And she picked up really well in the stretch.
Wide apart,
she's with the red hat at the back.
Wilderness Girl. Then came Honey Sweet and Nazaka. Ali Ali's been ridden along. Trying to move up into it is Love Interest and Queen Amitatu, and Romantic Rival. Soft Whisper has found a couple of lengths on them as they run towards the final furlong and a half from Wilderness Girl. Nazaka is out after Soft Whisper now, then Ali Ali. Romantic Rival's trying to run on, so too Queen Amitatu. They're inside the final furlong. It's Soft Whisper under David Probert. Queen Amitatu is getting there with every stride but is running out of time. Soft Whisper from Queen Amitatu, and Soft Whisper will win the October.
It's a bit short for some people, but we could put it in. There's other shorties tomorrow there at the Curragh. O'Brien has Luxembourg is out tomorrow. It's in the Moors Bridge, isn't it? 4 to 6 with the Green Bouquet, and there's another shorty, Paddington, and we have a shorty here as well that I put up. No, not that race. This race. We'll get back to that one. It's not that one either. Wait, where are we? It's the 3. The 4:15. Queen's Rock. This opened up 15 to 8. Which I thought was a pretty okay price. It was pulled out the last day. Had it tipped up. It won this off 107. Sorry, 109. And the horse that was third, Jersey Lady, has won since. But she holds up.
To challenge, so too Queen's Rock on the right. Those three touchdown together. Then came just behind them Nora the Explorer, who's come off the bridle. Latino Fling, and then Jersey Lady, and it's Queen's Rock, who's moved into a 2-length lead with ears pricked coming to the second last. And a great jump as well. Queen's Rock landed in front from Maid on the Moon. Latino Fling, Jersey Lady beginning to run on. Melina Jamila and Nora the Explorer have dropped away, but Queen's Rock is coming down to the final flight and is about 4 clear, maybe 5 as she reaches it from in second place Maid on the Moon. Over in third was Jersey Lady and Queen's Rock, and Nico de Boinville coming clear on the run-in and is moving away in really nice style here on a handicap debut in the colours of the Noel Feely Racing Syndicate and for trainer Nicky Henderson.
That was 109. She's up £11. Wind surgery done the trick. You'd be hoping that she could go in again tomorrow. Staying in Kempton as well, in the 340. The horse there that done us a good turn last year, Danny Curragh, he's 10 now though. Latitude. This is a nice little chaser. This one in Ludlow. This is it out in front, but it jumped very well. It's the class 3.
The only one who's completely out of touch, you'd say, as Latitude is kicking on off the final bend. He stretches his lead, goes half a dozen lengths clear, 4 out, long there, but over quickly to Concetto, the great tide times on the right. Then Job's Green Lad ahead to the stars. Here's 3 out. Latitude over with a 3 to 4 length advantage over Concetto. Head to the stars, a serious blunder back in 5th. Latitude not doing an awful lot in front, pricking his ears, runs down the fence. That was 2 out. Still with a 3-length lead over the nose bandit Concetto. Tide times mustering only the 1 pace at this stage, and it's Latitude from Concetto. The final fence coming up. Latitude big and bold, extending his lead now it seems. Over Concetto and then Tide times. And Latitude is simply pouring it on, remorseless here from the front, and a short round of jumping, and it's going to be a local winner.
I think it only went up £4 for that. Danny Curragh went off short enough the last day, £6 higher. We backed Danny Curragh last year in Ascot. And it had a good run to our power. I would be surprised if small reverse forecast would be in order. It's inconsistent, but when it hits a going day, it can be solid. It's an extravagant sort of a jumper. Well, it used to be anyway. And there's one at Windsor. Now, this is a peculiar sort of a race. It's down on the ground, it's heavy there. I'm not sure what's the story, but we backed Tolstoy the last day's ran in Lingfield. And if you look at all of its runs recently, Lingfield, Wolverhampton, Lingfield, Kempton, Southall, Lingfield, Southall, Kempton. So it hasn't ran on grass since heavy ground the day we were on fast response, but it was 40 to 1 that day. And prior to that, it had only a 1 run, but it won on soft ground before in a novice in Leicester in 2021, and there's a few of them in the race that. Well, have a look at the last day. It's the yellow sleeves on the rail. Or green sleeves. Probably green. Lime green.
Right in behind him, Aberama Gold. Adeb is the red jacket, white sleeve. Shalaska, the yellow and white, precedes this. Tolstoy is next. Laheg behind this to Rackling, and then comes the green man. Then walking on clouds, Epsom Faithful, the back marker. This is the run into the home straight. Emperor Spirit against the rail still has the lead and leads by over a length and a half. Sir Oliver running in second. Behind the Shalaska, still there Aberama Gold. The green man up against the running rail, but still Emperor Spirit and Jamie Spencer showing in front. They race towards the line. Emperor Spirit with Sir Oliver tackling it on the line. Very tight, but
Jockey sitting up on him halfway up the stretch. Tiger Bay is another, and Le Quinto, but they've all been running on the goo as well. So Tolstoy is rated 83 now, and it was 96. So that's down nearly a stone. So you'd hope that even though the ground is heavy, that it'll be able to travel on it. It's well bred, like by Kingman out of a Frankel mare. So I hope it should be classy enough. I didn't expect it to be that short actually, but anyway, it is what it is, as to say. Then we have one left in Down Royal. There's a plethora of stuff tomorrow. The 355. It's a handicap chase. The horse in it that done us a good turn a couple of runs back when he clouted and kicked every hurdle out of the ground. And you'd be thinking, why would you pick him when he can't jump hurdles? But the thing is, some horses are like that they only respect it when they go in front of, when the fence is in front of them. But he has plenty of chase runs. When he went off 125 to 1, 200 to 1, 150 to 1. And he got a rating of 109. He was running his last hurdle race, rated 123. So that's just slightly over a stone. But he seems to have, he's a good engine. And if he can jump properly tomorrow, he's rated 107 now. So, and Conor Clark is taken off 7. So that's the reason I'm sort of picking him, in the hope he's a 7 to 2, 15 to 4, 100 to 30. The Bromhead's horse hasn't ran in a while. First run of the year. We backed a couple of them last week and they didn't do us any favours. So we won on this before. We didn't tip him up the last time. He won his money. It's a bus horse. So, geez, that's a long video tonight. I'm rattling on. So that's Queen's Rock, Hardy Bloke, Queen Amitatu. The Queen and the Queens. You could do a double with that. And then you have Tolstoy and Latitude. They'll be all solid enough, probably, well, Queen's Rock at 7 to 4 would be the nap. Actually, I was looking at that. I never seen a more one-sided market. She's in the 350, 415, is it? Seven to 4 out, 8 to 1, 10 to 1, 10 to 1, and out along. So that'll be the nap tomorrow, and Queen Amitatu will be the next best. And then we have Tolstoy, Latitude, Hardy Bloke. There's another horse that we're running tomorrow that we're back before, History Bear, but it's his first time over jumps. So we'll let him have a run tomorrow and see. It's up against that Bear, who has far more experience. And I prefer if it was a bit longer as well. So we'll see what's Tuesday. Bash the bookies, over and out.